Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Business Leadership Series. Today, we're bringing on Steve Edwards, who's had many ventures through leading the Business and Governmental Insurance Agency to the New Jersey Hall of Fame. He has a lot of interesting stories to tell us, and we'll be back with him after the trailer. Welcome back, everyone. We're now with Steve Edwards, the founder of New Jersey Hall of Fame. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Zach, and it's great to see you. We're friends of the family. Our families are friends. I got to tell you, the first thing I want to say, this looks like a professional studio. I've done a number of TV shows in the past, and I compliment you and your team here at Milburn High School. This is amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And, that goes out to Mr. Rhodes, who's been building the studio for many, many years.
Mr. Rhodes. Great job, Mr. Rhodes.
All right. So we have a lot to unpack. You've done a lot of great things. So at what age did you know what you wanted to do, and who or what inspired you?
I changed my mind a lot. I mean, I was going to be a professional baseball player when I was 8 years old. I was going to be a brain surgeon like my dad when I was 15. I kept thinking along the way, I knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life, but my life, and I think a lot of people's lives, are works in progress. And, we just don't have necessarily the clarity when we're younger. We don't know enough about each other, about ourselves to know, how do I want to spend the rest of my life? It's actually a pretty high pressure thing. So, I went from baseball player to brain surgeon. That didn't work out. I met my physics teacher my senior year of high school, and I realized I wasn't going to be a brain surgeon. In college, I was going to be a lawyer. Even that didn't work out. I wound up going into real estate and then insurance. And really, it wasn't until my 40s that I realized, yes, I was a businessman and I was doing very well, but it was not fulfilling me. I was not happy necessarily. And I realized in my 40s it was charity, being a charitable activist, and in particular the Hall of Fame mission. And I got involved with other inspired Jersey leaders and created the Hall of Fame. It was then I realized that my real true purpose in life was trying to help inspire people and bring hope and inspiration to people. So the bottom line is that I think people like yourself, young people, and even adults have to be flexible and always have to be asking themselves, what is my highest sense of self? And you have to have the courage to say, I think it's this, and then be willing to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, so what? You just pivot in a new direction.
All right. So what was your youth like, and how did it prepare you for success?
I had a very difficult youth, okay? Not your typical young person's youth. Everything was fine up until about 1971, when I was 8 years old. I grew up in Union, New Jersey, and unfortunately, my mom and I went head on with a Budweiser beer Mack truck in front of Kane College. And my mom's head hit the steering wheel. She was okay. But I went flying through the windshield, came back through the jagged glass, over 300 stitches in my face. All my teeth got knocked out, 3 blood transfusions, and last rites. And I literally went to the other side, and that's a whole separate story of seeing angels and so forth. But I was pretty devastated, as you can imagine, when I came home from the hospital a month later, and I took those bandages off for the first time, and I saw a disfigured young person. I cried, and I couldn't imagine how I was going to get through the rest of my life. In the years that followed, there were a lot of other struggles. I was ADD. I was staring out a window, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and not paying attention in school. There were reconstructive surgeries year after year. And then on top of everything else, I had to go for human growth hormone shots in order to make it to 5 feet tall. I had a lot of adversity, but I'll tell you the upshot on that story because I think it's a lesson for everyone on this planet, really. And and anyone who's gone through adversity, I think, understands what I'm about to say. I prayed to God for 4 years. I'd go to bed every night crying myself to sleep, being angry, being bitter, questioning why this was happening to me. Give me the strength, God. Give me the wisdom. And I literally, about 4 years later, heard what I thought were God's words without hearing his voice. And what I heard was, Steve, what happened to you happened. There's no taking it back. But now you, and you alone, have an opportunity to define yourself on your terms, not the universe's, or not. But if you decide not to, don't complain to me. And it was a very empowering moment where I felt like I had the steering wheel of life. Whatever was going to happen, I was in control. So I think ultimately that adversity gave me, and I think it's true of anyone, you've got two choices, fight or flight, okay? And that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as they say. And I think that built my character up. And my life didn't turn around right after that epiphany, but within a couple of years, I was the lead singer in a band, and I was the student council president by the time I got to 12th grade. And I've had an expansive life. I've made a lot of mistakes, the ups and downs of any expansive life. But the bottom line is going through that adversity made me stronger and made me understand I got this ultimately.
It's an amazing story. So now let's go on a different note. So you're the co-founder of the Business and Governmental Insurance Agency. What strategies do you use and employ that you think are best for client retention?
I think ultimately the best advice I can give any entrepreneur, any business person, really anyone in any industry, you have to be of service. First of all, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, even if you become great at it, you're not going to be having fun in life. What's the point? It's better to be passionate and love something and not make $1 million a year. You got to love what you do. So that's the first thing. You're not going to be of any value to your clients unless you truly love what you're doing. Second thing is be of service. And that means showing up in person, listening. Now, don't always be selling. I fell into that trap years ago, trying to sell myself, sell my company. You got to listen to the client. What do they need? And I think the very best advice I can give any entrepreneur is solve problems. Be out there listening. What is your problem, Mr. or Mrs. Client? And then solve it. Because ultimately, the money will flow to you. The success will flow if you're solving problems. That makes you very unique if you can do that for clients.
So this perfectly transitions us into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. What inspired you to become part of it, and what exactly is it for viewers who might not know?
So New Jersey Hall of Fame is our official state Hall of Fame. The mission is to celebrate New Jersey, it's to honor our legends, and it's to inspire children and really adults of all ages. You say, what is it? It's a lot of things. It's an annual induction ceremony. We've had Bruce Springsteen has come to 5 of our ceremonies. And General Schwarzkopf saluted our audience at the first one. Toni Morrison's been there, and Bon Jovi, and just so many names. We're an annual induction ceremony. You may have seen our posters. We've got Hard Rock Cafe type of exhibits up and down the Parkway, the Turnpike, Newark Airport, New Jersey Transit, New York Waterway, DMV. So 50 million people are hopefully being inspired with our Michael Graves designed poster campaign.
Yeah.
That has little blurbs and a little positive, quotes to get you going in your day and hopefully put you on the right path in life. We had a mobile museum that Michael Graves designed that went from school to school for a few years. But we put that on the side and we finally built, we're going to open next week, very timely, the New Jersey Hall of Fame Entertainment and Learning Center at the American Dream Complex right next to MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands. And it's adjacent to the theme park, Nickelodeon Universal Theme Park and the DreamWorks Water Park. What this is it's a 10,000 square foot state-of-the-art entertainment center and learning center. And we've got the Model T that Henry Ford gifted to Thomas Edison in 1916. They took their road trips together in this particular Model T. Its insurance value is $20 million. It's one of the most unique, rare vehicles in the world. Next to it, we have a Fly Me to the Moon 4D simulator where you can get on and you could experience what it's like to go off to the moon, to land on the moon. You'll witness Buzz Aldrin, who's a Hall of Fame inductee, a Jersey guy, Neil Armstrong getting off in 1969 on the moon, and you will watch them, on the moon like you were there. You take off to the International Space Station. You see the Kelly brothers, who are from West Orange, and then you come back in to planet Earth with the equivalent of 2 Gs of force. It's such a cool ride. We've got a karaoke stage where you can get up and sing with a hologram of Wycliffe Jean, If I Were President, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, and so many other names. The thing that I'm very excited about, though, for young people, because I talked before about heroes and wisdom, you'll be able to see the heroes that you could potentially be on a wall of fame, but the wisdom you'll get in our late night Jersey television studio. And what that is, you can pick, let's say you want to go into the entertainment world. I want to interview Jason Alexander, who grew up in Livingston, not too far away from here. A hologram of Jason appears, and you get to ask him any number of 20 questions that we asked him out in Los Angeles when we filmed him. And he'll give you the answer. What makes him Jersey proud? What are his favorite charities? How do I reach the pinnacle, Jason, of the entertainment industry? And then you'll be able to keep that video. And that video could become your compass in life, your North Star, that you can always have Jason's advice to help you. So I'm very excited, and I hope the students here at Milburn come out and check it out.
Of course, and I want to see it next week when it opens.
You're going to get a personal tour.
Thank you. And, so being the president, you've gotten to meet all the inductees. What surprised you meeting them that you might not have learned from, just seeing them in the press?
I think, listen, some people are approachable, others, Bruce Springsteen's a hero of mine, but I'm intimidated every time I meet him. I can't open my mouth. Others like Jason, Danny DeVito, Stevie Van Zandt, very approachable, down to earth, and you laugh with them, and you find out they're just like everyone else. They're people, right? I would say it hasn't surprised me. It's just some insight I got, and that is that all of them followed the same exact formula in life, whether they did it consciously or not. They all dreamed. They all found their heroes and the wisdom they had to offer. They all strategized one day at a time with a good to-do list, one day at a time, and all of them overcame adversity. All of them, everybody gets hit in life. Famous people, successful people are no different. But they kept going. And so it was a formula. And as I realized that interviewing so many of them and meeting them, now I'm passionate about bringing that formula to other people because it's very doable for anybody.
So to end it off, we have a lot of young aspiring entrepreneurs watching. What's your advice to them on what they should be doing right now to achieve their dreams?
Well, they're aspiring entrepreneurs. If they know if they feel in their bones what it is they should be doing, then find heroes. Get the answers to the test. Don't try to figure it out yourself. Find out who are the heroes of yours that reached the pinnacle already. Buy a book. Maybe it's a hero locally that could become a mentor. One of the most important concepts for a young person or any person to understand is that there are people out there willing to day by day help mentor you. And then I would simply say, just like Bruce Springsteen and Stevie Van Zandt, this is their whole thing in life. There was no plan B. There was no, Bruce was going to be a rock star, or he was probably going to work as a mechanic and not live the life he wanted to live. His whole thing, the E Street Band's focus, is be the best. And we're not the best. Even now, he does not consider himself, and the band doesn't consider themselves the best. The next show is when they're going to give it even more, and they're going to be the best at that next show. Always strive to be the best at what you love, and everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you for coming on today. It was a pleasure. Subscribe and go check out the New Jersey Hall of Fame next week. To end it off, it was great having Steve on today. I hope you guys are inspired by his stories, and make sure to check out the next episode with Jeff Braverman, the owner of Nuts.com. That's coming out next week.